Is college worth it in 2024? Today, we're going to, talk about this topic. Is college your only career alternative? And we're going to introduce a couple of different options to breaking into a new career. So let's run through the agenda really quickly. Again, today we're going to talk about alternatives to college, especially in the technology era that we're in right now. So agenda number one is going to be about technology, the game changer. From there, we'll talk about what companies are looking for the most. We'll then explore some different options. We'll talk about the benefits of alternative career paths, college benefits, and then I will open it up for a Q&A as well. So let's go ahead and jump into our first agenda item, technology, the game changer. So we've been told about the importance of going to college all of our lives, right? However, with technology, everything has changed. And why has technology changed the educational landscape? We'll dig into that piece by piece and sort of break this down. So think about it for a minute. The past 4 years, look how much everything has evolved, right? TikTok users have gone from 381 million to 1.5 billion. TikTok is one of the, or ByteDance, who owns TikTok, is one of the most valuable companies in the world now, if not the most valuable. Electric cars have gone from 2.2 million in 2019 to over 13.6 million in 2023. AI revenue has gone from 14 billion in 2019 to 70 billion. And then AR and VR, so AR is augmented reality and VR is virtual reality. You start to see just how much everything's increased, right? For AR, it's gone from 72 million to 110, and then VR from 43 million to 65 million in just 4 years. So look at just the boom in revenue that technology has had in specific industries and products based on these charts have had in just a short amount of time. Now, at this pace, this is just to kind of set the mindset that at least everything is evolving, right? Things are evolving faster than we have imagined. And then how do you know, if you go through college to that traditional career path, that your field of study is going to remain relevant in 4 to 5 years? Because of technology, our jobs have changed. And because of how quickly technology is evolving, it's going to cause our jobs to change as well. So here's a great example. ChatGPT has sort of taken the world by storm when it came out. And now it's being adopted by many, many professionals. So in this case, we took we're looking at a paralegal, for example, right? We gave ChatGPT a prompt to help us write a legal contract. And in under 1 minute, this is what ChatGPT had developed. So let's break this down a minute. Is this going to replace lawyers and paralegals? Absolutely not. But now it's given the opportunity for one paralegal to do the job of many. Now, because of AI, it's going to cause some changes in the way that we do work and the way that businesses and practices function. But that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, right? So AI is not here to take our jobs, but it is going to make that competition a little bit stiffer. So because of this, we want to be smart. We want to invest in our education, time, and resources, but we want to be able to do it in the best way for us. So let's look at what that alternative looks like. Technology has made industries more competitive, and experience has become a more important currency than degree. And what we mean by this statement is gaining experience is what's going to help land you a job, right? When you go through college and you get that degree, there's opportunity to get a bachelor's. There's opportunity to get an entry-level job, but it's a little bit more difficult, especially with the way that technology has evolved, right? Technology replaced some of those mundane tasks that we used to do. So how can we invest in something that is valued a little bit higher than a degree? And that's what we call experience. So here is the solution, right? Here are the solutions to profitable careers that require short foundational training, but then empower you to learn by doing. And this is the tech industry. And why do we want to hype this up? It's because to gain these skill sets in tech, is the same way that you would gain a skill set in any one of your hobbies that you might be interested in, right? If you like to paint or if you like to play golf, whatever it might be, you have to learn a skill set. And learning a tech skill is very, very identical. So here's just a couple of roles within the tech industry that we can look at. So first and foremost, we have UX UI design. The average entry-level salary is about $85,000. We have a general information technology role. The average entry level is about 77. Web development, which is more so coding and the traditional jobs that you might think of when you think of the tech industry. Average entry level is about 86,000. Data analytics will have an average entry level of 74. Data science will have an average entry of 86, and then SEO specialist will have an average entry level of 60,000. And why do we think that these roles in the tech industry in general have such a higher entry level starting salary than many other industries out there? It's because technology has blown up to great proportions. It's evolved and become such a seamless part of our everyday lives that we need to be able to, function with our iPhones. It's not just a phone for calling people anymore. It's how we essentially operate our daily lives, right? So everything has to, every aspect, most aspects of our lives and a lot of aspects of businesses out there are trying to reach their customers through technology. And that's why these roles are paying so well, because people are using the products. So now that we understand a little bit about the tech field, why it pays the way it does, let's take a look at some of the benefits of these alternative career paths. So it's the number one thing that stands out. It's shorter training time. A traditional career could take 4 to 5 years, depending on the degree that you're going out for, and sometimes even longer. These careers, tech careers require short foundational training. So let's take a look at UX UI design with Avocademy, for example. We have a 2-step process where we have a UX UI foundations course, where to learn the foundational skills of a UX UI designer can take about 8 to 16 weeks to complete. And you're going to learn all the basics. Everything that you need to know in UX UI design that can land you that entry-level job, you will learn in foundations in just 4 months. From there, we have what's called Career Jumpstart. This is where you actually get to apply the knowledge that you just learned. So in just 4 months, you can start working on real client projects where you can build a robust portfolio and gain some experience, and you're also going to receive job search support. So in 3 months after foundations, you can acquire some experience that will get you ready to start applying and looking for that entry-level job. So let's break this down between a traditional college degree and the Avocademy Bootcamp, right? In UX UI design with Avocademy, you will have 7 months to be able to go and feel comfortable to land that entry-level job, whereas college is going to take you about 4 years and sometimes longer. In that time frame, right? Let's take that 7 months, for example, as an educational experience. So in 7 months, you will be ready for that entry-level job. Let's say you are fortunate enough to land that entry-level job, and that's going to give you 3 years of experience before one person graduates college that started at the same time, right? So if you start Avocademy today and your friend starts college today, in 7 months, you're going to be ready to start your entry-level job. And 3 years from now, when your friend is graduating college, you are going to have 3 years of experience in the field and being able to stay up to date with those new trends. And now let's take a look at earnings, right? So as we mentioned, the entry-level job for UX UI design is about $85,000. However, in just after a year of your entry-level role, you can experience a significant increase in salary, sometimes even 25% more. And by the end of 3 years of experience, you can be applying to jobs that will pay somewhere around $255,000. So again, let's go back to that example. You started Avocademy today. Your friend started college today. After 7 months, you can land that entry-level job for $86,000. And then in 3 years, when your friend is graduating college, you can set yourself up to start applying to opportunities that can pay you over $200,000. So that's pretty remarkable. And then if we look at the tuition savings, it's outstanding, right? Let's take college to start with this example. You earn $0 over that 4-year degree, and you graduate with the average cost of college at $35,000. Now, that's just average, right? There are some colleges that are a little cheaper. There are some colleges that are a little bit more, but you will end college less $35,000 or less your tuition. With Avocademy and a boot camp, in 7 months, you will be ready to start looking for a new role. And then in 3 years, let's say you earn that, you get to that over $200,000 payment. Let's say it's around $255K. Subtract the cost of Avocademy, which is $2,997, and then you have just completely saved yourself on tuition. You've earned that back in just a couple months of working. I mean, as far as savings go, it's a no-brainer. So this is why there's a huge benefit to taking an alternative career path. Now, I will note there is one advantage to college. And before we get into that, I just wanted to put this slide up here for you all to see. This is just a quick feedback slide. We do lots of events where we're talking about lots of different topics related to UX UI. We're talking about lots of topics related to career transitions. So please, we would love your feedback. It just takes a minute or two. You can scan this QR code and take our survey. And we would love to hear your thoughts on this. We'd love to hear your thoughts on any other topics you might be interested in hearing. And if you are on your phone and you cannot scan this code, I'll go ahead and paste a link to this in the chat where you can access it, because there is a reward. Because we appreciate your insights, we will offer you a $250 off coupon for our foundations course. So let's go back, right? We talked about one specific advantage to going to college, and that would be that college experience and social connections. How much do you value that? That's up to you. But if we break down the benefits overview in a couple, in a visual chart here, we have, right, college degree as far as time. So time way higher on this chart, right? You have almost half of it taken up by time. It's about 4 years, whereas Avocademy is very, very short. Experience in terms of work experience, there is zero experience that you're going to get when you're going through that college degree, whereas Avocademy is going to give you almost the entire length that somebody's in college of time. You have that work experience. Tuition, again, huge chunk of this bar chart for college degrees eaten up by tuition, whereas Avocademy, it's very, very little. Social connection, that is where the difference comes, right? We do have platforms at Avocademy that you can talk to students. We offer unlimited mentorship. It's a great way for you to meet with some industry professionals and gain some connection there. But as far as social connection goes, you know, college will beat you out in that case. But then when we go ahead and look at wealth is going to be almost the half, 50% of this bar chart here, whereas you do not see that in college. You, in the same time frame of college, are going to get, you're going to spend less time, gain more experience, have much less tuition costs, have a little bit of social connection, and then gain that wealth, which you will not gain from that college degree. So what do you value? That is, you know, that is something that you can tell yourself and, you know, reflect on some of these things that we're learning today and consider which option is the best for you. But here's just a way that we can kind of break it down a little bit. So where we end, I just want to show an example of what you'll learn from Avocademy, right? We didn't really dig into the specifics of UX UI design, talk a little bit about it, but basically UX design is designing websites and applications. So if you think of the Uber app, for example, when you open up that Uber app and you request a ride, a developer is the one who develops that application and makes it work. So when you press that button to call a ride, a developer is the one who coded that in there. And that's why a car shows up to wherever your location is. What a UX UI designer does is they design the layout of that application. They talk to people, they understand the needs of people, and they try and map out a really exciting and enjoyable digital experience on whatever website or application you're using. that's going to keep you coming back. And again, using Uber as an example, a designer made sure that, let's say one of the groups of people they were researching were busy professionals or just busy people in general. They didn't want to waste time scrolling through that app and trying to find a ride. They wanted it to be easy and simple as opening it up and calling a ride in you could do it in about 15 seconds. So a UX designer discovered that need of those busy people, and we're able to design the app where they can accomplish that task in the quickest amount of time and in also a visually appealing way. So that's what UX UI designers do. And then developers will go and code it and make it a functioning product. So let's take a look at our website real quick. So if you wanted to learn more about design and learn more about how you can unlock some high-paying careers, transition to high-paying careers without that college degree, check us out at avocademy.com. You can scroll through here, look at some different financing options or some different information on our courses. And then this is that 3-step process that we were describing earlier, right? The foundations program, learning the basics, and the jumpstart, where you're going to get that real world experience in just 3 months. And then we will also offer you up to 12 months of job search support, which includes unlimited interview prep and connections to the hiring partners. And we also back that by a job guarantee. So let's look at what you do in our program, and think of the foundations program first, and then we'll jump into the career jumpstart. But in foundations, this is just going to be in 8 to 16 weeks that you can accomplish what I'm about to show you here. So this is one of our students. She came to us with a background in education, and this is her portfolio. So when you are a designer and you start creating, working on different projects and things like that, you're going to gather all that into what's called a portfolio, where you can showcase your design, where you can showcase your work and show how you designed for a specific product. So going back to foundations, this is what a student chose to work on. So you can see sole UX UI designer, and she wanted to create a mobile travel app to help young families travel easier. So if we dig into it, here is how we can look through her case study. So again, it's a mobile app to help families travel easier. She identified a problem that parents need better resources when they're traveling, and just helping that planning process. So this is exactly what you'll kind of work through in our course. You can see her role was a sole UX UI designer. The project took about 10 weeks. So you remember that 8 to 16 week time frame for foundations. As fast as you can get this done and work through the course is as fast as you can complete foundations. So it doesn't have to be the full weeks. If you finish earlier, that's great. You're going to leave with the same amount of education and same amount of experience as somebody who would have taken 16 weeks. So took this student 10 weeks. And then this is the process to creating that application that she designed. So these are some of the finished screens. So you can see it's really amazing how in just 10 weeks you can learn to design a full-blown application from scratch. And what we do is we teach you through this process. And this is a very similar design process that if you go and work in the field, almost always they're going to follow this process to a T. There might be some variations depending on companies that you work for, but this is how we're going to teach you to learn. So you start with discovery. So you start doing some research, understanding what is out there that's currently addressing the problem that we'd identified. You can then talk to people that are closely aligned with the problem. So you remember this student was talking about creating a travel app for parents who need some help with kids. So she's talking to different parents out there from all different ages, right? This one has 6 kids. This one has a toddler, 2 under 4. So you can see you're just talking to people that are experiencing this issue and trying to figure out, what their pain points are, what their challenges and frustrations are. As you learn from this discovery phase, you can start to map out your learnings in these different tools that we give you and separate all of your findings, right? Because if you go and talk to a parent, especially one with 6 kids, about traveling with them, I'm sure she has a long list of frustrations that she can detail out. So how do we make sense of everything we're learning? We give you the tools to sort of map things out. And then you start to take that research and that discovery and turn it into ideas. You focus on what you discovered from those users or from those people that are experiencing this issue. And you start to create some really interesting ideas. And as you can see in the beginning stages, you're not doing anything super crazy or extremely design related, right? You're just kind of sketching some things out by hand. I talked to this person. These are some of the things that I've gathered. You know, I can maybe make some sort of cool idea look like this, right? You're just sort of drawing things out, getting the ideas flowing. From there, you start to create little stories about how you can come up with some of these product features. And then you start to map out what it would look like as a digital experience, right? Because again, we're trying to help somebody traveling with kids. It's not going to be done, sitting with them and helping them look through a book or anything like that. They're going to do this on an application or a website without your guidance and helping them. So you want to map out how those pages are going to look, right? You have the different pages and how would it promote the best experience for somebody who's looking to plan this trip with the way that your application or website is set up. So you map it out. And then you get to the fun stuff where you get to really sketch out what those pages look like. So you get to, again, more hand-drawn stuff here. You can see this is probably in the frame of what looks like an iPhone. So you're sketching out with something that's going to go into an application. And then you start building it. This is where you learn design. So you start taking what you were sketching out and your ideas and you create, we call this low fidelity or medium fidelity wireframes. So you're sort of like, it's like a blueprint for what the application is supposed to look like. And then once you're comfortable with how this is looking, you can have some fun and start adding some colors in there. You can figure out some color and inspiration, and then you can start designing what we call high fidelity screens, which is exactly what you want it to look like. And then you get to have a full-blown prototype. So this is a functioning application that you can put in front of those users, the ones that you were talking to earlier with 6 kids and toddlers and things like that, and have them try it out and see if it's something that they would enjoy. And when you get to test it out with people, you get to have some findings from this testing, reflect on those findings, reflect on your design process, and then make some tweaks to make it even better. And this is what can be done over and over and over again, no matter what problem you want to work on or no matter what company you work for. They're constantly iterating this design process as much as possible to keep up to date with the needs of the users. So pretty cool. That is what you'll learn. Again, in just 10 weeks, you can develop your first prototype and your first portfolio project. And then if you were interested in that Career Jumpstart program, you'll do a similar thing, but you'll work with other designers. So if you look here, this was with a UX UI designer with a team of 5, and you're working with real client on real client projects as well. So this was a company that they worked for. It was a web-based humanitarian social platform. The overview of the company and the client that you're working for. You're talking about the problem that they want solved to make their digital experience a little bit better for their customers. Again, same process. And you can see the difference though with Career Jumpstart is instead of doing this on your own, you're working for a client and you're working with a team of people. So you get to do a client kickoff, really understand what pain points they're having and what they envision for their product. And then you go ahead and do that same design process as you did before, just for a real client. So that's pretty much it. We're here to help and help you transition into this field. We've hopefully been able to talk about why this alternative path to the traditional college route is great. A great alternative and can get you hired in less than a year for that entry-level role. So if you have any questions, you can, if you have any questions, you can scan this QR code and talk with one of our career advisors. They are amazing. It's a quick 20-minute call. You can discuss anything you want from, UX UI design. You can talk about the program. You can talk about the outcomes and success stories of the program. They're more than happy to share all that information with you. So you can scan this QR code. I'll also post a link in the chat for anyone who it might be on their phone. So you can go ahead and click that link. And if you also want to explore Avocademy a little bit further, we're on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, on LinkedIn. You can email us directly at info@avocademy.com. And other than that, please go ahead and schedule a call with our career advisors. They're more than happy to talk to you, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.